Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I don't know what that was there. This thing just kind of glitched. All right. Well, it's Tuesday, July 22nd, and the Yankees suffered a tough loss last night. Tough loss last night, but it's all good. It's another day. It's not over. My man Ace is in the building. He says, cheer. Exactly, man. Freaking, it ain't over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, right? Um, yesterday was a tough loss. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, everything that's wrong with the Yankees kind of poked his head, man. Volpe with the error, Peraza with an error, and especially Peraza's error, right? Being that we're in the market for a third baseman, that kind of just upped the price on every third baseman out there the Yankees going to try to get. Because, look, the teams know, right? Teams know that the Yankees are desperate for a third baseman. And after that error yesterday and the way us as fans, we're calling for some trades, man. We're calling for something to happen. A lot of us anyway. Teams know this, so the price just went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price, like Fat Joe says. All right, so Eugenio Suarez, especially since he's been balling out, the price on him just went up. And we'll get into that. We're going to talk some trades. We're going to talk Spencer Jones because he's been getting a lot of attention lately. A lot of people, look, it's crazy because the fan base, you got like half the fan base saying just trade him. The other half saying don't trade him. But I was watching Joe Sherman this morning, and he had something very interesting to say about the whole Spencer Jones thing. So what he was saying pretty much is that I guess the rumor out there, right? The thing is, Spencer Jones, yeah, he's raking right now in AAA. But what scouts are saying is that AAA pretty much sucks right now. Like the pitching in AAA is terrible. So that could be one of the reasons, right? Like I'm not an expert in minor league baseball, anything like that. Every now and then I'll tune in if I have time. But I looked it up too, and a lot of people are saying that the AAA is ass right now. Pretty much, it's garbage. So you're gonna see a lot of guys like that hitting crazy home runs and stuff like that. He brought up a good point. He was like Winans, who we saw up here. He's up here right now, I believe. Matter of fact. And he looked terrible up here, but down there in AAA, he's a freaking stud. He's dominating AAA. So it's I don't know. You tell me what you guys think in the chat. I think Spencer Jones is a beast. And if that's the case, right? If the competition in AAA is not good at all, right? If that's the case, then just call him up. Call him up here for at least a week and play him. So we can see what we got, right? Let's see if it translates. Obviously, it's going to be tough for him just coming up like that to do something. But you'll see if he can, we'll see if he has something, right, up here. Once he's up here, we'll see, okay, he got something there. Let's not trade him. Until a prospect makes it up here, they're just a prospect. Prospects are suspects, in my opinion. But tough loss yesterday, man. We got to come through today with the win. It's a must, man. Today is a must win. I feel like I say that every day, but it is what it is. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. A says, you killed it on stream last night. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, last night stream did pretty good. Jake says, I think, man, why is my chat so big like that? Hold on, let me fix that. That is crazy. Let's make this smaller. Sorry about that, guys. Jake says, I just think their chance of winning the division is over for some reason. Not saying they can't get into the postseason, but I don't think they're going to win the division. No, I feel you, Jake. And look, I hear I got a lot of comments, man, especially about on yesterday's video. And I hear people's frustration. I hear people saying, look, just chalk it up as a L. Trade what you can, get what you can for next year. But look, man, I don't know. Me personally, I just can't do that. I can't just throw in the towel. I'm not built like that. Me personally, I'm a fighter, dude. I'm gonna go out to the end. That's just me. But I look in about 10 days here or 9 days, whenever the trade deadline is, we're about to find out really, man, if this team really has a chance. Graham, what's up, man? Says afternoon. I'm actually awake for the stream. Yeah, it's morning where I'm at, but the boy wonder says, "Yo, Jay, mi hermano, I'm at work right now. All I'm thinking about this team and how terrible we are, bro. This team is hot garbage right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you, boy wonder. This team is something else." Boy wonder says, "Bro, when it to get a big hit or big out, we never handle our business." Yeah, you're right. Jake says, "I don't think Suarez is a good option. They need someone defensively like Hayes, who isn't the best hitter, but above average defender." I hear you, man. Look, I don't know. I know they got to make moves, but I don't think that they have to go out all out. Me personally, right? This is just my opinion. I don't think they have to go all out. I will want a Suarez, but if it's gonna cost a guy, any of our top prospects, really, like a Spencer Jones or Lombard, even Cam Schlittler, I got to think about it, especially after tonight. Tonight, we're going to see Cam Schlittler versus the Blue Jays, which is a tough lineup in a super important game. So we're going to see what this kid is made of. I like Cam Schlittler. I don't want to see him go personally, but I also understand that you got to give something up to get something. You really do. And look, I know a lot of people are giving up on this team. I'm not there yet, personally. I'm not there yet. Look, it doesn't look good, and this team has problems. And trust me, I'm the first person to criticize them. But we're still 2 games up in the wild card. Um, we're in reach in arm's distance from the Blue Jays, right? Like we could catch them still. We gotta play better, obviously, and we need some upgrades. We definitely need some upgrades. But Boone's post game interview was interesting. Like I know we watched it on stream last night together, and I had to go back and kind of really listen to what he was saying. And bro, Boone's got to stop it, man. Like some things you cannot defend, some things you just cannot make an excuse for. You just got to take it and be like, look, you're right. That was no good. Um, and he was defending Volpe to the very end, man. He's willing to go down with the ship. I'll be honest with you. Me personally, I feel like the whole Volpe thing, man, is there's no hope there, man. He's hopefully maybe, he could find uh he could continue his career somewhere else, but I don't see greener pastures ahead for him as a Yankee at all. And the fan base is turning real quick. He's getting in Joey Gallo, Aaron Hicks territory right now. That's where he's at, man. But make sure you like the video too and all that good stuff before we continue. Let me get to some of these chats. D-Train says, Jason, at work right now, can't really interact, but tuning in. I appreciate it, D-Train, man. I had took like a week off, man, because my foot had a injury. I was on the IL. Graham says there is a point to AAA pitching being poor. Look at Winans and other arms we have brought up that they dominated AAA, but they don't do nothing up here in the majors. Yeah, that's what Joel Sherman was saying. Aiden says, "Are Yankee fans does stupid seasons?" I don't know what you're saying, bro. Li, what are you talking about, bro? Dev was good. Of all the prospects, the one I think that could be moved is Schlittler. I think I don't know. I'm gonna make my decision on him tonight. I got to see him tonight. But before, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a whole bunch of other guys that we could move. Look, we don't have to get the top third baseman on the market, right? We don't have to get the top pitchers on the market. Yeah, it'd be nice, but we just gotta improve, man. Improve on third base, right? Improve in the bullpen, and maybe another starter. And I think we're in good shape. And then obviously it's not the sexiest names, and it won't be the sexiest roster, but it's good enough to get us in the postseason. And And in reality, look, you never know what's gonna happen once you get in there, right? A team we could catch fire, get hot. Maybe Stanton goes off again, like he usually does, or maybe Judge finally has a great October. We know what he can do when he's on. So right now, I'm just focused on getting there. Focus on the division, hopefully, but I'll take a wild card. We got to be playing in October. When Yankees aren't playing in October, it's weird, bro. Like, what are we doing? If AAA sucks, then why no other player other than Jones is putting up these crazy numbers? I don't know, man. I'm just relaying the message, man. That's what they're saying. And you know, I got a lot of respect for Joe Sherman, and he said that he was told this by scouts, you know, big league scouts. So I don't know. If we deal with the Snakes, Diamondbacks, for those of y'all who don't know, folks better be aware for either Suarez or Kelly, it'll take at least one legit prospect in the top 100. And if he was good, man, yeah, I agree. It's going to take a top prospect, but I don't want it to be Jones. And if they're even thinking about trading Spencer Jones right now, I feel like just call him up, man. It might hurt the trade value if he comes up here and sucks, but at least, man, because the last thing you want to do is trade this kid. And you know, if he goes to a team, I say there's probably 25 other teams in the league. If he was in their organization, he'd be in the big leagues right now. And the last thing you want to do is trade this guy away and go watch him hit 40 bombs with another team or something like that. Where would Jones play? It doesn't matter. You playing for a week at least to see what he got. That's the thing, though. Me personally, I'm the type of person that I want to see a player up here first. And that's why I say like I got to see him up here, right? That's why I don't trust any prospect until I see him in the big leagues. Because we've seen so many guys do well down there and come up here and they can't figure it out. I give him a week. You give him a week up here, put freaking Grisham on the Phantom IL or something for a week and say, hey, we're going to sit you down for a week and give this kid a shot. Something like that, man. They're not going to do that, but that's what I would like them to do. I just told you, Eli. Again. Eli, bro, don't start with your shit, bro. Come on, man. It's too early for this, man. I just told you, you put somebody on the Phantom IL and you get Jones up here. But they're not going to do that anyway. Boy Wonder says, why 4 games feel like 8? I know, right? Because we can't beat this team for some reason. We done lost, what? We played them how many times? I think 8 times already. And we lost 6 of those games, something like that. This is crazy. We got to win tonight, man. They just have to. They got to. But when I can't stop. We can't stop BSing on Volpe. Volpe has been terrible all season. Yeah, he has, man. Boone is a politician. That's what I say, Roy. He should run for office because he's good at it. He is good at gaslighting. He is definitely good at gaslighting. You know what? Let's play Boone. Why not? Let me see if this pulls up here.
Aaron, that bottom of the 5th wound up being pretty disastrous there. Just how do you process the way it unfolded?
Just not completing the play, you know. Oswald had the range to his left, and Straw getting down the line quick, probably rushed his throw and pulled it a little bit, and then Volpe just doesn't catch it real clean, and kind of as a result jerks the throw a little bit. But plays you got to make, especially against a team, playing as well as they are in this building, especially.
Why do you think you guys have not been able to play consistent, clean baseball? Now 6 errors the last 5 games against.
That's a good question. You know what, man? I got a lot of respect for Meredith. She asks the tough questions. Like I think she's secure. She knows that like her job is secure. And a lot of times I see guys that give them softball questions. She asks it's a tough question, good question too. Why can't you play good baseball? 6 errors in the last 5 games. Why can't you play clean baseball?
the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been here. We got to play better. I mean, it's, been a contributor to us not finishing off some games. And, around this place, I feel like we've been catching it well, but we got to do better than that.
With Volpe, you've expressed your confidence in him multiple times, but why do you think he continues to have some struggles here defensively? 12 errors now, that's tied for most of any position player in the American League.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a few too many. That said,
a few too many. You think, brother? You think? A few too many. At the rate he's going, he'll end the season with like 20-something errors, 22 errors. Not good at all, man.
Errors get handed out a lot of different places in a lot of different ways. So I'm not so worried about it. It's making plays. He's still making a lot of plays, but he hasn't been as consistent as he wants to be, and as consistent as he normally is. So there's a few balls he's left on the table, one tonight included, and those are plays he expects to make, and we need him to make too.
He's been walking around.
You know what, man? Here's the thing with Boone. Like, if you don't watch every game, like a lot of us do, right? But there's a lot of fans out there that they're not gonna watch They don't have the time, or for whatever reason they don't really watch the game. They might watch highlights, or they might just watch, ESPN in the morning or whatever it is, right? But if you watch the games every day, like I do, you know that Volpe has made a ton of throwing errors. It's just that he's been saved a whole bunch of times by Paul Goldschmidt, or whether it's whoever's playing second base that day. He really should have like 20 errors. Like, realistically, he should have like 20 errors. Even the ball yesterday, I saw a lot of people getting mad at Paul Goldschmidt. That was a tough pick. It was a tough pick to make. I think Goldschmidt usually makes them. But anytime you have to pick the ball in the dirt, right, especially when it's not a short hop or a long hop, that was like in between. And he did a good job. He had it in his glove. It just came out. That's not okay. And Peraza's not even a third baseman. And look, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why it's took this long, man. The guy's batting. Somebody pull up Peraza, man. He's batting like 146. Like, what are we doing, man? That's unacceptable. You cannot keep running this guy out there. You just can't. Graham says, Jason, I understand what you're saying about Boone. However, if you do listen to Sherman regularly, you will know he was hired as the opposite to Girardi. Graham, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. What did I say that made you? I didn't say anything to garner this response. I don't know what you're talking about. We all know that. Of course, he was the opposite of Girardi. Girardi was too hard on these guys. We know the stories. Girardi was too hard on Gary Sanchez. Boone is a player's manager. Like, it doesn't matter, though. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care if you're a player's manager, if you're a hard-nosed manager, if you're old, you're young, you played in the big leagues before, or you didn't. At the end of the day, we just want results. And this man ain't bringing us results. He's just not. He got to go. The pitching matchup today, Boy Wonder, is Cam Schlittler versus Max Scherzer. This is it right here. And if he says playing in the minors and playing in the majors are two different worlds, once again, managing expectations. That's why I want to see him up here, man. Me personally, right? Because I'm torn with this guy. I'm talking about Spencer Jones. I really am. I don't think they trade him, not for just anybody like that. But I would like to see him up here sooner than later. I got to see what this kid got, and that's the real test right there. That's the real test. It's coming to the big leagues and figuring it out up here to see. And I get it. There is nowhere for him to play, unfortunately. But that could change, That could change. Roy says, I don't see Jones going anywhere. I see some of the other guys going and some of our pitching prospects. Yeah, I can see that too, man. Hey, Cat Mama, what's up? She says season over. No, it's not over. Not yet. Not yet. AINFE. Oh, I don't have it set up right now. Blaze455 says, as a former infielder, Aaron Boone should take more hands-on approach as manager. It's true he was a former infielder, focusing on fundamentals and actively working to help players develop and improve. You hit it right on the head, man. I think, though, man, look, Volpe, let's be very clear, man. He does not have a shortstop's arm. He would be better at second base. That's one thing I do agree with Li. Like, just move him to second. But the thing is that we don't really have you will have to put Jazz at short. It's just the way the roster's constructed. It's just bad all around, you know? We got people playing out of position. We got too many players on certain positions. We can't put together a lineup with our best hitters, you know? Because of the log jams in these positions. There's no way we can have our best 9 hitters in a game at the same time. You know, it's just, yeah. Eli says, you do realize Mets got a fine and loss of intentional money because of the Phantom IL. No, I know. That's just because they got caught. I promise you that's been happening forever, Eli. That's been happening since I was a kid, man. I'm not saying, obviously, you can't say, hey, we couldn't on the Phantom IL. No, it happens all the time, Eli. Everyone who works for the Yankee job is secure. It's true, D-Train. No, man, but now if you come asking some crazy questions, yeah, you know, I like Meredith, man. She asks the tough questions. Let's continue. Let's finish Boone's thing.
Found with ice on, I believe, his right shoulder. Is he okay? Or left shoulder? Is he okay physically?
Yep.
What do you think it is then that has not allowed him to reach that consistency that he's had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a few extra errors. Like, I mean, I get it. That's the separator of when he wins a Gold Glove and when he's not. He's still a top shortstop. He hasn't made a few plays that have generated a lot of noise.
I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. He's still a top shortstop. And maybe in our organization, he is not a top shortstop by any means. And see, this is the gaslighting, right? When he says it's just a few more errors, right? Yeah, if you look at Volpe's errors last year, I don't even know how many he had last year off the top of my head, but I'll look it up. But I'm pretty sure it's right around there. The difference is that's from a season's worth versus 100 games worth. You still got 60-something more games to go. You know what I mean? You're talking about it's just a couple more errors from his Gold Glove year. Yeah, because we're only 100 games through, but he's averaging, like, he's on pace to get like 20-something errors. Not good. Grish was, and always will be a fourth outfielder, regardless of his stats. The idea that he's blocking anyone is pure idiocy. Yeah. And I like Grisham a lot, but he's very, very expendable to me. Do also bear in mind that Suarez and Gallen, they can get a qualifying offer. Yeah, Kelly, they can't, so they will be looking for a high return. Yeah, that's the thing. If they don't trade Suarez and Gallen, right, they're going to have to give them a qualifying offer. And then it's going to hurt their free agency. I know Suarez, he probably wants to get traded. I don't know. I'd like him to be on the Yankees, but I don't think I think they're gonna ask for too much, and we're just gonna look elsewhere. Facts. Goldie has saved Volpe so much. Oh man, he's saving. Volpe should have 30 errors right now, or 20 errors, whatever. Luis Duran says, I'm up early. Yeah, man, I didn't go to work today. Roy says, Jason, that is what I said last night. I need my glasses. I can't see anything. That is what I said last night about Goldie. He needs to be playing at first. He saves more bad throws, and we can't have him out of the lineup at all. Yeah, he does. I think Ben Rice is not that bad at first either, though. I've seen him make some really good picks and some really good plays. Where Ben Rice messes up a lot is that he's still learning the position, like knowing where to be and stuff. I think that's where but as far as fielding the baseball and making picks on bad throws, he's actually better than people think. Let me put my glasses, man. I can't see the chat. They're good. And Scherzer reminds me of Paul Pierce. He ain't getting nobody. He ain't getting no goodbye tour. Bruce Lee, what's up, man? Roster construction for the Yankees is not good. Look what happens when you have Goldie and Stanton playing. You can't get Bellinger in there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That, Bruce, man, that's my biggest pet peeve. Is like we can never have the best 9 players on this field at the same time because you got too many people playing the same position, and we don't have no other third baseman except for Peraza and Vivas. And the only real shortstop, well, I guess Peraza, count him as a shortstop, and Vivas. We need this roster. The way the roster is constructed is not good at all. And we knew this going into the season. That's the problem. That we knew this well, even before spring training, we knew this. When they signed Goldie and made the trade for Bellinger, we already knew. It was like, okay, we have issues here. We need a third baseman, and we have a lot of outfielders. When they signed Grisham, right, I was like, why are we signing Grisham, right? If Dominguez is supposed to be our guy, why are we signing Grisham? We already had Dominguez we already had Bellinger at that point. But I get it though, whatever, I guess it was a good signing. He's definitely earned his pay, right? Making $5 million for 1 year. But now we have a problem, man. That it was like, we have guys blocking people, blocking opportunities for the younger guys. That's why I understand why a lot of people are like, look, just chalk it up, take the L, and let's move on to next season and get our younger guys up here and let them play. Like, I understand that, but, bro, we the Yankees, man. We can't just be throwing in the towel like that. No way. Now when you're 2 games up in the wild card, look, other teams in our position, if other teams were in our position right now, they'd be all in, trying to go all out, Just imagine if the freaking Orioles were 2 games up. You don't think they'll be trying to make moves at the deadline? I just think it's not over yet. It's not over yet. But we got to make some big trades. Some big trades. And when I say big, I don't mean like getting the big names and stuff like that, like a Suarez. That'd be nice. I mean, like, when I say big, I mean like we got to it can't be just a third baseman. Like, we need a third baseman. We need a few arms in the bullpen. We need another starter. That's what I'm saying. Maybe a utility guy. We don't really have a utility guy either. Compare that to the Jays roster. They have Vladdy, Bichette, Kirk locked into their position. Barger plays outfield and third base. The other infielders play basically all positions. Manager's dream. Slow Burner says, I can't wait for tonight's game. We're going to sweep you again. Oh, man. If we get swept again, that's bad. Real bad. Dominguez smoked 2 balls last night. Yeah, he did hit a line drive to center field, I think. There was a couple balls hit hard, but straight to defenders. He just hit it right to the outfielders, yep. But you know what, though, man? I'll be honest. Dominguez is a liability at left field. I don't care what anybody says. When I see him run these routes sometimes, I'm like, bro, it looks bad. Every time he has to run into the gap or really chase down a ball, it doesn't look good. Cat Mama says she thinks they're getting swept again, too. I tell you what, look, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'm a fan through and through. Even when my team sucks, I go for them, right? I'm cheering them on. That's just me. That is just me. If Dominguez got their reps and batted in the same spot every day, he would succeed. Yeah, the lineup is another thing. We can't have the same lineup. There's so many problems this team has that, I understand why a lot of fans are like, look, man, it's over. That's it. But in reality, it's not, right? If the season ended today, we'd be in the playoffs. And as long as we're in the playoffs, there's a chance, right? So you telling me there's a chance. There's a chance. Maybe not a great chance, but it's there. Um, and you can't, how do you go? Look, my thing is this, right? Let's say they say, you know what, forget it. This team is not it. We're just gonna sell and start building for next season. All right. Now what? What do you do? At that point it's like why even play Judge and risk him getting hurt or Stanton or Freed or these guys? What do you do with them? You just start playing them 3 times a week or something? Like you can't look, you cannot punt seasons when you got a guy like Aaron Judge, bro, on your team. That's just, to me, that's crazy. You just can't do that. And he's getting older. He is getting older. So we got arguably the best player in baseball, right? To me, he is the best player in baseball, but it's debatable. Come on, man. Let's get him to October. At least give him another chance too. I want to see my man do something in October because everybody keeps saying, he's not clutch and everything. And you're right. His numbers in October are terrible. But let's get him there, man. At least without him, right? And I was saying this earlier on Joe's show because they were like, well, he chokes in October. And I'm like, you're right. His numbers are not good at all in the postseason. But without him, we never even make it to the postseason anyway, And they're like, well, he has to do better. I was like, I hear you. We want him to do better. We need him to do better in the postseason. But just remember the fact that without him, if you take Judge off this team literally has no chance at all. They don't even make it to the postseason. They don't even sniff the postseason without Judge. So it's tough, man. But who do you guys want to trade for? If you could fix something. Kamala says, why do I keep losing your video when an ad comes up? I don't know. That's strange. If you can fix this team, how do you fix this team? And I already said we need a third baseman, 2 arms, and a starter. My thing is that, like, everybody wants Eugenio Suarez, and I want him too, right? Don't get me wrong, but I don't even, like, at this point, look, the way Peraza and Vivas are batting and the defense is there, even if you get a guy like just that's solid in defense and could bat at least 200, and obviously that's not ideal. We don't want a 200 batter. I get it. But that's 60 points better than Peraza. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to upgrade there. Somebody who's at least a threat. At least a threat. 2 bullpen arms who throw hard. At least one of them got to be a hard thrower who can get people out. I'm tired of seeing freaking Ian Hamilton and Johnny Lowe out there just blowing games out of the bullpen. And another starter. And you give me another starter, I think the Yankees will be in good shape. We'll be in good shape. So Burner says we still have Alex Manoah, Santander, Varsho coming back soon. And Jimenez. I know you're not talking about Alex Manoah. Really, guy? That guy, is he even good anymore? Did he pitch this year? I don't know. He was terrible, though. He fell off a cliff. Let's pull him up. How do you spell his name? Oh, I think I spelled his name wrong. What's up, Bam? Suarez is the same. He is bat first, defense is sus. Like you said, you just need the first or baseman with a respectable bat. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd like that bat in the lineup, but at the same time, look, man, we right now the guy we got playing third is not even a third baseman. First of all, um, he's inexperienced. I'm talking about Peraza now, and he's batting 140 something. Like any upgrade is worth it to me. Any upgrade, I'll take it. And then we get some arms, make up for it with the bullpen or another starter. It doesn't have to be Eugenio Suarez. It really doesn't. I don't even know how to spell his name. Don't forget, guys, you could pull up stats and all that. I'm going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back, guys. Hold on. Why didn't it work? Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to figure this thing out. What just happened? Oh, here we go.
Bullpen meatballs. Serving them up all 2025 season.
You better like the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to my friend Jason's channel.
The reason your butt has been hurting is because you have YDS, Yankees Derangement Syndrome.
Hey y'all, don't forget, channel members can bring up live player stats.
All right, let me know what you think about the ads. I've been working on some new ones too, so stay tuned for that. Roy says, I am thinking, and I've heard Cashman may be on his way out. I agree. I think he's on his way out. And I've heard that he wants a ring before he goes. He wants to go out a winner. But we have a ring in a year or two, if not this year. I think he is on his way out. Like when I hear him speak, it looks like he's done. He's done it for so long. And look, I'm the biggest Cashman critic. He pisses me off. But I do have a lot of respect for the man. Like, who's held a GM position like that for 30 years, pretty much? Like, you got to have respect for him. I hope that's the case. I hope that he's like, you know what? I want to win. Before I go out, I want to win. That'd be nice. Slow Burner says great ads. Man, I was going to make another one, but then I didn't put it up because it got a little too crazy. And I don't want to get copyright stuff. You got to be careful with stuff like that. Cashman will go when he wants to go. I don't think he will completely leave the org. Yeah, I agree. He'll probably move up into a different position where he could just kind of lay back. But I do think that he wants this contract to be his last, Look, he's been doing that's a long time, 30 years. I bet he's tired. I bet he's so tired of dealing with the media and being the face out there, and whenever anything goes wrong, he is pretty much on him. I bet he's tired of it, and I wouldn't be surprised. He said, "Look, they said all in, right? The thing is, man, some people interpret all in a little different. I think that he is all in to a degree, but he's still not gonna overpay." Like something crazy for any particular player. That's just not in his MO. Khadija says, let's try to pull up Andre Jimenez. Did you spell it right? I hope Boone isn't a lifetime appointment for Yankees manager. I think Boone is on his last term too. Unless he gets a World Series ring, I think he's on his last term too. You gotta be, man. Boone is the longest tenured Yankees manager to go without a World Series win. The longest tenured Yankees manager without a World Series ring. It's not good. You want Vladimir Guerrero stats versus Yankees? I could pull that up. It's not gonna pull it up on the thing. It will only pull up individual stats, and you could pull up different years too. So like I'll put I don't even know how to spell his name. Vladimir Guerrero. Damn, I'm not spelling his name. See if I can pull it up here. I'll pull up his dad too. Give me a second, guys. It's 2025. And if you want to change the year, you just add the year at the end. And if it's a player that's not active, then always add the year. If not, it won't show any stats. So that's 2024 stats. Obviously, he had a really good year last year. Anthony Volpe, 2023. Look at that, 209. Now pull up 2024, Anthony Volpe. In 2025, he hasn't gotten better at all. Well, he did get better last year a little bit. You know, the thing with Volpe that kills me the most is that he has so much potential on the bases, but his on-base percentage isn't great. Like, you got to get on base more than that, man. 293 on-base percentage. He did have 28 stolen bases, but it's not enough. And what's he doing this year right now? And this year, he's only got 10 stolen bases, on-base percentage. Yeah, just more of the same. I think that's just who he is. Just the player he is. But if you batting like that, your defense better be top. It better be top notch. You cannot afford to be making errors like that. Where's Luis at? I'm not a Yankee fan at all, but to some Yankee fans, no chip is a failed. Yeah, that's a failed. Exactly, man. Luis, if you don't win a World Series this season, it's a fail in my eyes as a Yankee fan. As any team, what are you talking about? You know, I don't understand how people are okay with losing. Like, I get it. Like, there's some, like last year we made it to the World Series. Cool. I'm happy we did it, but we didn't win. You know, so it's like whatever. Yeah, we made it, but everybody's like, well, you should be proud and get a championship ring for what? A ring for what? A ring for losing? No, doesn't work that way. You know, and I don't know. That's a whole nother tantrum we could get into. But I think that's the problem with society today. You know, my son was they do like these perfect game tournaments and all that stuff. And they were the runners up, right? They lost the championship game and a close game too. So they got rings. They got run-up rings. And I looked at my son and I was like, you know, they took the picture in the team. I said, dude, when we get home, you throw that thing in the drawer and never look at it again. It's just gonna remind you that you lost. You know, we only keep the winning trophies. Riv 77 says, "Sup, brother? I'm new here from the Bronx. Appreciate it, man. The BX is in the building. Hold on, let me give you some. I'm new here from the Bronx in the Yankee Stadium. Where you from? You from Highbridge? Been a Yankee fan since the mid-'80s. This team is just lost at every aspect of the game. Volpe needs to be a contact hitter, and Boone is trash." Yo, A-Rod said that about Volpe. He was like, he needs to start just focus on contact and slapping the ball. And bro, that thing went in one ear and came out the other because it's not, you know. Chicks dig the long ball. Remember that commercial? Yeah, I think that he should be. When he's his best when he's hitting the ball to right field and just spraying it all over the field. He's got to like take. I wish he'd hit more like a guy like Stephen Kwan or Corbin Carroll. You know, when you got legs like that, man, You just got to get. Don't worry about hitting the ball in the air or hitting home runs. Just worry about making contact, making solid contact. That's it. Luis Duran says, I'm used to losing as a Mets fan, but hopefully Cohen turns us into a dynasty. Damn, Luis. I feel for you, man. Shit, we haven't won in, 15 years, 16 years? I'm starting to get used to losing, too. It's crazy, though, because a lot of the younger fan base, and I don't knock these younger guys. Younger people in general who are baseball fans, whether they're Yankee fans or any other fans, they don't understand when we're like, what are you talking about? It's win or nothing. Like, they don't understand because they never really experienced the winning culture that we used to be. They never experienced that. They didn't see it. It was a different vibe. The Yankees had a whole different vibe in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. It was like, yo, they meant business, man. They didn't call him the evil empire for no reason. And we had a boss that didn't care either. And he was going to do whatever it took to win. And we had the right people on the field, the right manager. The culture was all about winning. And we kind of went away from that. Now it's all about just, making sure everybody's happy, And I'm like, I don't know. Yankee fans are spoiled. We don't just want success. We demand it. And when it doesn't happen, the sky is falling and the world is ending. I feel you, but what's success to you, right? What is success to you? Like, as fans, we need to really ask ourselves, what is success? I think most fans, 95% of the Yankee fan base will tell you success is winning the World Series. If we don't win the World Series, you're not a success, You did good. You get a thumbs up for effort, but you didn't win it. And we got to get back to winning. They asked George Steinbrenner, they told him one time in an interview, he said, they asked him, they were like, why do you take losing so hard? Why you're not a good loser? And he was like, you're right. He said, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. That's the whole point, man. I want to play this for you guys real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Crap. Give me 1 second. We're going to play something here. If this thing will let me, my goodness.
Out of all your awards and accomplishments, though, which is the one that's most special to you? We'll go down there.
When we win, that's it.
Is it that plain and simple for you, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's why you play.
Is it winning or misery for you?
Yeah.
What's misery like for you?
It's tough. You play to win. In anything. If you want to race me down the street, I'm going to beat you. Because
See, that's what we need. We need that back. We need that back, that mentality. Like, I want to beat you at all costs. At all costs.
It's black and white for me. I don't think you're happy finishing second or happy getting to a World Series. The goal is to win. If I don't win, then not fun to be around.
So what's worse, 2007 or 2001, 2003? You get to the World Series, but you lose? Or
Look how serious he looks.
I mean, how do you rate losing?
It's all misery to you.
Yeah, I've never understood it. It feels better because we made it to the World Series and lost. Why does it?
My guys, I think for a lot of us who lived through that dynasty, who lived through that era, we understand what he's saying. I think we lost this. We lost our winning ways, our winning culture, and a whole new generation is born. Like my son is 13. Like my kids, even my daughter who's gonna be 17, and they're like, what? The Yankees never win. Like, it's okay, whatever, It's not a big deal. But to us, we're like, what? We didn't win? They're like, yeah, I mean, they made it to the World Series. Whoopie-doo. Like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. You had to be there. You had to experience the dynasty and experience players like Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, and they all have the same mentality. If you could, like, I'll pull up interviews with Jorge Posada or Andy Pettit or Bernie Williams or Mariano Rivera or you name it. Everybody in those, Paul O'Neill, they all say the same thing. Like, it was never okay to just make it there. No, it's win at all costs. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Feel better. I've never understood that. I really don't get that one.
Well, there is something, you've accomplished something by at least getting to the World Series.
What did you accomplish? You lost.
But there was some winning to get there. Yeah. Out of all your awards and accomplishments, though, which is the one that's most special to you? We'll go down there.
Anyway, you guys get the gist. Jake says he's 25 and when we talk about George Steinbrenner, he wishes he was alive to see it. George was a complicated guy, man, but that was a boss, man, for real. Like, a lot of things he did. George right now, if George was alive, he would have traded everybody. He would have got rid of everybody. Boone, oh man, that dude would be nowhere near Yankee Stadium. That's for sure. If he was alive. Let me see. Jerry Rivera says Volpe 85% of the time is trying to tomahawk pitches. He be swinging at pitches that are eye level. I mean, to his defense though, he's pretty short. Well, how tall is Volpe? Like 5'10"? And that's what they list him as. He's probably like 5'9". Well, he be swinging at pitches that are eye level. The ones just supposed to hit, Volpe needs a long break until we could come back home or sent down. Yeah, but then who you put in there, that's the problem, man. And then that goes to, that's a Cashman issue. We have no depth. We have depth in the outfield. At the catcher position, we have depth. But at shortstop and third base, no, we don't have nobody else to come in and take his place right now. Graham Highlander says, Jason, I've been around for 15 Yankees World Series wins, and I've seen the slumps and drought years, and some of them were with the old man, yeah. Who in reality, I'd rather have Howe, as he is a better man. No, that's what I was just saying, Graham, that he was a complicated guy, George, man. He was a crazy dude. But there's one thing you can't deny. He was passionate about the team and he wanted to win. But he was very impulsive. Very impulsive. No accountability for anyone. Boone is awful. It's about hustle. The Yankees need the vets on the team to start playing hard, and it becomes contagious. Yeah, let's think about it. Who's the vets on the team? I think a guy like, I feel like Goldschmidt sets a good example. Goldschmidt sets a good example. Bellinger sets an excellent example. He always hustles, Bellinger. Judge, for the most part, always hustles too. I mean, those are, and Big G, I mean, he runs as hard as he could. It's not very fast, but he'll run. I think that, man, it's a tough one, Bruce. When it comes to something like that, I think that's where, yeah, Boone is at fault for that. Boone is at fault. Because if he don't do it, who's going to do it? Really, you can't expect another player to dog out another player. I mean, it happens. You can do it, I guess, but it's less likely. When you're in charge, when you're the captain of the ship, man, you gotta put your foot down sometimes, and he doesn't. At least from what we see, he doesn't do it in public. I think we want it in public. We didn't lose it, Jason. The times changed, the circumstances changed, the world changed. No, I disagree with you, Graham. I disagree with you. I'm sorry. We lost it. We don't have a winning culture, bro. We don't. When you're giving out championship rings, I get it. The world's changed and everything. That doesn't mean that that the Yankees as an organization have to change. I get it. Certain things you change and everything, but nah, man. I don't buy into none of that. To be honest, there's nothing new under the sun. I promise you that. Nothing new under the sun. Like the culture is not the same as it used to be. And you have other players too, even ex-players say it. Even when Jeter and A-Rod, when you see them talking about the Yankees, you could tell they have a lot more they want to say, but they just can't really say it. And I promise you that no, the problem with the Yankees right now, as far as like the winning culture and stuff like that, it's the people that are running it, the people who are leading it. That's what it is. It's crazy. Jeter was GM in the Marlins or had a percentage of the Marlins. Don't remember, but Jeter had and A-Rod are great baseball minds. That losing isn't in their vocabulary. Boone is soft. He's a puppet. Remember, Boone has never won anything. There's a difference. When you never won anything, in your mind, you think it's okay. And I think Boone really wants to win. It's just that sometimes he just does dumb stuff. He just does. You know, they lost that feeling after they all retired. No one feels that on the team. Well, they better start. My thing is too, like, they say they do. They keep saying, like, yeah, like we want to win at all costs and everything. All right, well, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see it. I want to see y'all really live up to it. You all in? All right, we'll see. Jay says, I've been a Yankees fan since 1962. And I am sick at watching this current team. No fundamentals, lack of situational hitting, no manager, general manager, poor at situational hitting. I miss George Steinbrenner. Old man Steinbrenner was not a nice man, and I'd rather know my family did business with him. Let me tell you something, Graham, right? And you're an older gentleman, man. So look, I'm not saying like I'm wise or anything like that, but I'm gonna give you an Army story. Well, I was what was I? Was I a staff sergeant or just a sergeant? Anyway, I had this platoon sergeant, right? And I hated him. He was so hard. He was not a nice person. He was look, excuse my language. If you got kids, tell them to cover their ears. He was a dick, like a straight up freaking ass. You know, I could not stand him. I hated him, right? And I don't say that about many people. But you know what? He was so hard on us and everything, bro. He would run us. I'd be throwing up. And if you stopped, he would dog you out and everything. And everybody was, you know, we all hated him. But you know what? In hindsight, right? Now, 15 years later, maybe, or whatever many years later it is, I look back and he was the best leader I ever had. Now that I'm 40 years old, I look back at it. He was the best leader I ever had. I learned so much from him. Even though I hated his guts and everything, but he was preparing me. I was learning more than I ever learned after that. And I don't want to say his name just in case he ever. And we got into a big argument and everything. They had to change. They had to move me from his platoon because I just couldn't take it no more. I was ready to punch him in the face. And when I look back at it, man, he was the best leader I ever had. Dude, that I learned more from him about leading men and women than I ever did from anyone. And he was not a nice person, but sometimes you ain't gotta be nice. You gotta be a leader. You gotta be the boss. It's not about being nice. If you be nice to everybody, you can't look. Even if you're nice to everybody, somebody ain't gonna like you. You know, you just got to get the job done. Yeah. Jake says, when Jazz was jogging the other day, it pissed me off, reminded me of Glaber. Yeah, nobody said nothing about it. You want to go speak to my company commanders? Man, don't get me wrong. In the military, I've met a lot of people that were just dicks, right? Or just felt like they had power. But this particular person I'm talking about, like in hindsight, when I think about it, I'm telling you, I learned so much more. I would go to battle with that guy any day. And he was, at the time, I hated him. I thought he was the worst person in the world. Sometimes that's what you need. And that's what we needed, because we were too laid back, as a platoon, as a squad. We was like, chilling, everybody just kind of getting real comfortable. Oh, who pulled it up? I wasn't going to say it. Somebody figured it out. Yassine, my brother, man. Yassine figured it out. Guys, if you just joined in the chat, man, for the first time, there's some commands, if you look in the description, that you can put in, and it add some special effects to the camera and stuff. And you could also pull up live stats and everything. And I'm going to bring back something. I'm going to show y'all, since now I think we have a bigger following. I used to do also like a fake fantasy betting with fake money. Is all free. And it's all through the live chat. And this is what it looks like. Oh, you know why? I can't even pull it up. My bad. I don't even have it open yet. Here we go with this stuff, man. Oh, man. Bruce Lee, the Jays have Springer and Sherrill busting their tail every game, and that leads the way. Excuse me. You guys, man. You guys. Bro. Jay says, look at Yankee stats with runners in scoring position. You will get sick to your stomach reading them. Yeah, I know. I was looking at that stuff. Judge, Bellinger, Goldschmidt have the best numbers. The runners in scoring position. I'm trying to catch up to the chat real quick. All right. Let's listen to Volpe real quick. I think I have Volpe's post game. His post game, I didn't like his post game too. He's starting to become real, like, I don't know, like standoffish, or just like, I don't know, like he's spaced out or something. I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Anthony, what happened on that throw there, that play there in the fifth inning?
I rushed the throw, pulled it, and gave Goldie a tough pick to handle.
You talked the other day about how high your expectations are for yourself. Just how disappointing have parts of this year been for you defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Anytime you get a ball hit to you, expect it to be an out. So when that doesn't happen, frustrating.
I do feel for the guy, man. I really do. But, man, you got to understand, you're in the public's eye. I know his family's going through a tough time. His dad was on camera ready to fight some fan at Citi Field. I feel for Volpe, man. He's going through a tough time right now, but, it's not even personal with him. I like Volpe personally. This is, to me, man, it's all business as a fan. It's like, dude, either you perform or you don't. That's what it all comes down to for me. No matter who you are, you perform or you don't. Simple as that. Sean Browning, what's up, my brother? He says season is not over. Exactly, man. I agree. It's not over. We have some people saying that we might as well throw in the towel. And I understand those arguments too. I really do. But for me personally, I'm not a throw in the towel kind of guy. So we're not doing that.
Anything that's contributed to the lack of consistency you've had in the field this year?
I think that's something that me and Chappie talk about a lot. But we're just going to keep working and keep going getting after it.
I know you've been asked before, but you feel 100% healthy?
Yeah.
How much of the team speed in the back of your head when they're kind of busting it down the line on every play? It's just like, you know when you need to get there quick.
Yeah, I mean, that was he hit the ball pretty hard, so, you know, they're going to be busting it, like you said, and we have all their times and all their stuff to first, so you got a good internal clock. But, I mean, that's just a throw I pulled.
How much concern is there now that
He pulled the throw.
4-game lead?
He pulled the throw like he pulls every baseball. Anyway, I feel like all the Yankees, man, they're all media trained. The only person you're gonna get something out of is Jazz Chisholm and maybe Luke Weaver. They're gonna give you some personality. Everybody else, they look like robots, bro. Like, is this guy a clone or something? Like, really, right? You saw he was speaking. Are you a clone? Yeah, so Stephen B says Volpe's a space cadet, Jason. On the space. Yeah, like this dude, I don't know what's going on, man. We gotta figure something out, man. I feel bad for the guy, but my goodness, bro. We have Candelario, Nicky Lopez. Oh my God. Melendez and the minors that we can. What can we lose at this point? I mean, you're probably right, man. Mix it up. Or damn wake up call ASAP. Who is texting me like that? Stephen B says, I think Judge is the only one position with Bellinger and Stanton who wants a ring and keep themselves accountable. Man. So what's your predictions for tonight? You think the Yankees are going to win this one? I think I have a good feeling about Cam Schlittler. I really do. Like, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and pitch a perfect game or anything like that, you know what I mean? But I think that he can keep us in the game, you know, give us, you know, if he could give us 6 to 7 innings, 3 or less runs, I'll take it, man. From a rookie, second big league start, that's excellent in my opinion. Especially in a game like this, you gotta know. Look, I know they say they don't read the. I was about to say read the papers. Nobody reads the papers anymore, but they don't go on social media and look up all that stuff. They say that, but they gotta know that this game is super duper important. You know, at least amongst each other, they gotta be talking about it. Like, yo, we gotta bring it today. We can't go out like that. He's going to have a lot of pressure on him. Let's see how he performs under pressure. Not for nothing, the whole coaching staff needs to go. There isn't anyone that would hold a player accountable and put their foot down. When Jeter was captain, he would approach any player. You're right. I think Judge talks to guys, but he don't got like Jeter would do it in kind of like a jerk way, but it's just the way they needed to be done, you know. Bruce Lee, Jay's color commentator, former catcher Caleb Joseph, made an interesting comment saying MLB players like playing at 80 to 85%. So when players run at 100%, it surprises a D and messes up their timing. Yeah, but Jazz wasn't even running at 80, bro. That was a Verdugo jog right there. The Verdugo trot. That's what we're going to call it. Nando, what's good, my brother? Judge going to ask for a trade to the Dodgers soon. I doubt it, man. Jay says, you are right, Jason. They are trained to refrain saying anything that might be controversial. They keep the company line. Yeah, they always toe the line. Boone's post-gamers are nothing short of being sickening. Yeah, when they speak, man, like, but it's so like you don't have to be so robotic. My goodness, man. Like, and at the same time, I'm not saying they go out there and say something crazy or anything, but I feel like, like, what's the point of even asking him anything? But he looked scared. Like Volpe looked in that post game interview. He looked scared, like he was already briefed, and he didn't want to say the wrong thing. You know. I know immediately you had somebody from the PR department ran to him and was like, "Look, they're gonna come ask you this and that. Don't give them anything. Just say whatever." Look, Meredith, I don't even know how to say her last name. Marakovitz, whatever. Anyway, she literally said to Boone, she was like, "I see Volpe walking around with ice on his shoulder every day. Like, is he okay?" Like, yeah, he's fine. What are you talking about? Well, what ice? Like, bro, I mean, I get it. They throw a lot, but if he's walking around with ice on his shoulder every day, like he's a pitcher, that's not good. That means something is bothering him. That's not an excuse either, though. But you know, who's pitching for Toronto tonight? I'll pull it up one more time. We got Mad Max. Oh, his eyes look creepy. He got one brown eye and one blue eye or green eye. And Cam Schlittler, who looks like a young pup compared to Max Scherzer. Oh, man. It's going to be interesting. Look, Max Scherzer, he's an old timer, right? But I never ever doubt him, man, because he is a dog, dude. He's a freaking dog. You better believe he's going out there and he's trying to bring it every time he plays. Let's get the likes up, y'all. If y'all still in here, if you haven't liked the video, please like if you can. Please like it. Let's see how many. I don't even know how many X we got. So good. All right. I feel bad for Judge. He goes all out on defense, even running the bases. He deserves a ring. I think if this year's a bust, we better hope Judge doesn't want to opt out. That's crazy. He has an opt out. You know, I've never really looked at Judge's contract. That's crazy, right? I'm about to, though, right now. There is no opt-out on this. I mean, he could always request for a trade, but there's no player option. None at all. I mean, his contract is pretty plain Jane. $40 million every year. What's that for 10 years, I think? Or 9 years. Uzi says Scherzer definitely fits the bill for Grizzlies veteran in that pick. Man, that dude's a crazy nut. I bet they try to hit and runs for Cam. I think you will see more offensive play. They messed up for Rodon yesterday. You know, Rodon didn't have it. He didn't have his best stuff yesterday, but he did pretty well. And that's good, right? He didn't give up any like huge home runs, no 3-run bombs or anything like that. The defense failed him, but at the end of the day, even without those errors by Volpe and Peraza, we only scored 1 run. We weren't going to win anyway. It was 2-zip at that point. So, you got to do better than that. If Toronto scores first, we're in trouble. Max likes the big crowds, especially versus the Yankees. You know what? I would like the Yankees to strike first. Can we do that? I don't think in all the games versus the Toronto Blue Jays, I don't think we scored first in any of those games. The last 4 games, definitely not yesterday. We haven't scored first. It's like if anything, they've scored like rather quickly in every single game. Yesterday I was shocked. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Rodon, look, he didn't have his stuff, right? But it could have been a lot worse, right? It could have been a lot worse. He got out of a jam. He had the bases loaded like twice and got out of it. I don't know, man. The Yankees, sometimes I feel like they don't have no fight in them. Like they don't got that dog in them. They don't have I don't know, man. Like they choke in the moment. Like yesterday was a moment. Today's gonna be another moment, you know? I don't get this team. Like the games versus the Dodgers, that was a moment. And they don't got it, man. This team don't have that grit like that. I don't know, man. It's sad. They don't have that Scooby dog. Yeah, Scooby's a dog. They don't show up. I don't know. This team, and it's not all of them. I think a lot of like I don't know. Some of these young players to me are too nonchalant. They need I don't know. This team needs a wake up call, and hopefully it's not losing I don't know, or not making the playoffs or something like that. Because look, in 2023, we didn't make the playoffs, right? That was kind of a wake up call for this organization. They were like, you know what? They went out and got Juan Soto. Next year we make it to the World Series. Like I hope that's not. Sometimes I feel like this organization, they play as if like they're gonna make it to the playoffs no matter what. Like it's a given. Like they're entitled to it. They don't have to earn it. They don't have to play. And that's not the case. You still got to win the games. You got to play the games. You got to win them. Make the Quick says Yankees scored 1 run yesterday, but it should have been up a 3-run shot. Stanton spaced out with Jazz. I don't know what you're saying there. Make the Quick, or maybe the Yankees can't hit and get people home. Relying on a homer is pathetic. Yeah, you can't do that. Last time they faced Scherzer in the last series, he only allowed 2 runs, and he has an ERA over 4. Jason, do any players these days have the grit you're talking about? I don't think they do. Even in my military days, many don't. Change days. Oh no, man, there's a lot of players out there with grit. Are you crazy, bro? Graham, come on, Graham. You should know better than that. I'm talking about grit. Like I'm telling, like there's a lot of players out there. A lot of players. I'd say Bryce Harper got grit. He's a beast. That dude he got some dog in him. There's a lot of players, man. I say Giancarlo Stanton definitely got grit. Man, there's so many players out there. They got they're dogs, man. Dogs. When the Jays swept the Yankees in 4, they didn't have Bichette, the AL leader in batting average with runners in scoring position. Well, he's back, and the Yankees got a good look at him last night. I don't want Bo Bichette, and I'll tell you why I don't want him, because he's always hurt for some reason. For me, every year I feel like he misses a bunch of games, and I could be wrong. That's from I'm not a Blue Jays fan. It's from the outside looking in, but it seems like he gets hurt a lot. I'm good. Man, I'm starving. What time is it? The Yankees should have batted Stanton behind Judge. He's led off the inning with a solo home run. A solo homer after inning before Jays walked Judge to get to Jazz for the final out. Yankees too caught up the lefty-righty lineups. They too caught up in that lefty-righty cadence like they in the military. Left, right, kill. You know what? Man, I keep thinking that, like, you're right, man. I can't remember the last time we played a decent full game, a full clean game of baseball without messing up at some point, whether it's base running, errors, um, just little things like that, man. Feels like it's every game lately. And this is the main thing we were supposed to be fixing this year. What else could you possibly mean by grit when it comes to baseball? I'm talking about grit. I'm talking about that desire, that hunger to freaking just step up. It's a different level when you could tap in and take it to another level. Look, everybody in the big leagues is good, really good. But and we've seen this before in the postseason. Some people, they're able to go to a next level and play, Um, that's what I mean. That grit to not give up ever. Freaking to just I don't want to say will something into into existence, but I don't know. I can't explain it really. It's just something about some people say it's a clutch gene or whatever it is. It's just like getting it done, dude. Fighting to the very, very end. Every single pitch. Every pitch. Yeah, the lineup changing is just it makes no sense. I think even he knows it at this. I think he just keeps doing it because if he stops, because you remember before the All-Star break, he kind of stopped for a few days and he left the lineup the same. And I think the fact that everybody was like, oh, finally, and he's like, oh, nope, switch it back. Either that or maybe like, some people say he gets the lineup from the analytic department. Well, I still have this. Remember when the Dodgers laughed and said nobody on the Yankees can play defense or throw? Yeah, Sean, we remember. Wilkin, I saw players playing when they could barely stand up, but they still posted. Yeah, man. I think that's not what I mean by grit, man. That's grit. That's a different kind of grit. That's just like, I'm sure there's certain players that will do that if it's like postseason stuff. But these days, it's too much money involved. Too much money to be doing stuff like that. I'm talking about both. Grit it's all around. It's a mental thing. It's a physical thing. It's everything. Walker says, I was talking to Graham. I believe a lot of players in MLB got grit, just not really on our team. Yeah. Graham, when I joined the military, right? When I joined the army, all the older guys, right? The generation before me, they would tell me, oh, back in my day, uh, and they always say like, oh, you guys are soft back in my day. And then when I got older, and now I'm older, and I look at the younger generation, I say, back in my day, and it's just, it's just, that's just the way it is. And I agree, though, it was a lot tougher and harder. But when I say grit, that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about grit, like just playing, grinding out of shit, bringing your best, even when you're tired in the dog days of summer, or in a postseason game when it's tied or you're down by 4, and just being able to tap into another level of playing. We've seen it before, like postseason, man. There's a reason why some guys they could just do it and some can't. Look at what's his name, Kike Hernandez from the Dodgers. This dude in the postseason, he's like Babe Ruth. You know, I see the dog in the background. She's chewing my bag. Roxy. Roxy. Yeah, let her chew it. Nah. Yep. Oh man, how many people we got in here? At this point, man, I'm just chilling. I am just chilling. How long we been on? Been on for a while. Roy says, Jason, baseball has changed from grit and hard play to now they broke a nail and they hit off a few games off. It's a lot of money involved. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of money. Definitely a lot of money. And sometimes too, I think players, it depends. It depends where the contract situation is at and everything like that. Obviously, if somebody's playing in a contract year, right, they're gonna want to play. I don't know. Remember, like last year, Soto had got hurt. He had hurt like his forearm or his hand or something, and he played through that. And you could tell that they wanted to sit him down, and he was like, "No way, Jose, I'm playing," because you don't want to have that. You don't want to have any negative stuff or any doubt that you can stay healthy throughout 162 games in a team's mind. You know, and he played through that injury. They say I'm one of those older guys, and trust me, you would have liked it when I served. You wouldn't have liked it when I served. Ah, man. I've been through hell and back, man. I'm the type of person I could adapt to anything. You know, I might not like it. Nobody's gonna like it, man. But I'm gonna get through it. You know, that's how I used to tell people, especially when we used to go to the field, Graham, and it sucks, and you're there in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and you haven't showered in 4 weeks, and you got sand in every crack and crevice of your body. And I used to have my soldiers, they'd be like, oh, and they all crying. I'd be like, look, man, it's all right. It sucks, but we'll get through it. I promise you, we'll get through it. It'll be over soon. Only matter of time till the fans start chanting Fire Boone. They've been chanting that since last year, man. Yeah, it's coming, though. It is coming. Oh, my God. Can you imagine, Mick, if they do nothing? Imagine if Cashman just doesn't do anything and he just goes and gets some random pitcher most of us never heard of and throws him in the bullpen and calls up freaking I don't know what we got down there to play third base. Oh my goodness, man. That'd be the biggest disappointment ever. And I don't put it past him because he's done it before. Oh. He's done it before, but this is the first time, I will say this, right? This is the first time that Cashman actually said, like, yeah, like we're in it. Like we're gonna make some moves, you know? I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but he pretty much said, like, they're gonna make some moves. He's never ever said that before. He always said, well, he always like would dance around it and stuff. And then after he'll be like, yeah, you know, but we got this guy coming back, so that's like an acquisition. And you know, the market, there wasn't really a need, and he'll find some excuse, right? But this time he kind of put his foot in his mouth when he said that, like they're in. So, and from all the rumors, right? I think they are in. Yes, he says Yankees fans chanting Fire Boone and Cashman at Yankee Stadium in 2020. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I bet you every game there's at least one fan screaming Fire Boone, Fire Cashman. You think the Yankees will make a move or two before the deadline? They better. They better, Jay Rivera. They better. Today, pro sport is not a game you are paid to play. It's a business that you use if you are even average to make money. So after the age 40, you never need to work again. Yeah, most of them guys don't even make it to age 40. Most big leagues players, right? Or any pro sports, but I'm just talking about the major leagues. Most major leaguers don't make it past like a year or 2 or 3 years or something like that. It's like 2 years, the average like time for big leaguers. It is tough to stay up there. You'll be surprised. It's very hard to stay in the major leagues. Bro, you're a pleasure. Hope you get better with the knee. Try to relax this season. See, Yankees, you've seen it all before. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it, Roy. You know, it wasn't my knee. It was my it's really my shin, my tibia, but like it was affecting my ankle and my foot. It's hurt. It still hurts a little bit, but it's getting. I can walk at least. That's the good thing. Jason, could we get prayers for CT cards? I'll text you later after the stream. Is he all right, man? What's going on with him? Let me know or text me. Yankees org makes so much money to care. Yeah, yes, been there, been in the jungle, been in wet and pink in color, weighing 16 stones. Came out looking like a ghost or something. Yeah, man. The human body can endure a lot of misery. Put it that way. Most of the time it's mental. So I used to tell people it's mental. Once you get it out your head and just accept that you're in the suck now, you'll be all right. Volpe about to get the Hicks treatment from fans and get booed every time he bats at Yankee Stadium. Yeah. He got a lot of fans though. At least Volpe, the good thing he got going for him that he's a handsome dude, right? So he has a lot of young ladies that are just, and some young boys too, that are just freaking, they're big time fans of his. Every time I've been to the game, even over here in when I go to the Astro games, I see females with the going crazy for Volpe with the Volpe jerseys and marry me Volpe and crazy stuff. I'm like, what the hell? So those people ain't going away. So maybe not. You'll have some people defend him at least. Boone and Cashman are on their way out. My worry is who comes in. Would be cool if Jeter takes the office and gets a real manager. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. I just don't. If we get the broom from Toronto and head home, the fans are gonna be livid and they don't play well. The boos are gonna pop out and we play the Phillies at home, right? Let me see do we play the Phillies at home? Oh my goodness. I gotta scroll all the way down here. Yeah, we play them at home. And we also play, and then after that we play Tampa Bay. The good thing that we got going for us is that starting August 1st, the schedule kind of gets a little better for a few games. And then we go, and then we don't go, but we face Houston, who's tough. Houston is tough this year. Man. We still got some tough teams ahead of us. You know what it is? That a lot of the teams that we're playing, especially in the East, because a lot of the teams that we're going to be playing the last month or two are AL East teams. And it's like we don't do well against them at all. I'm looking at these teams, even the Orioles, I'm like, okay, they beat us a few times. Boston, yeah, they beat us a few times. And we got a lot of games with these teams. And then we got 3 with the Tigers in September, 3 with the Blue Jays. So check this out. In September 2nd, from September 2nd to September 4th, we play Houston at Houston. Then September 5th through the 7th, immediately after that series, we play Toronto again. And then immediately after that series, we play Detroit. And then immediately after Detroit, we play Boston. So this is September 2nd all the way to September 14th. That's a tough stretch right there, man. A really tough stretch. That's a stretch that could really put you like 6 feet under. That's what I'm saying, that we got to start racking up these wins. And now we have to. You know, I was upset with June because June was an easy schedule. We should have blew by that schedule. We should have been like 8 games ahead right now. I think Carlos is I don't know, I gotta, like with every pitcher, I gotta see them up here. But Carlos LaGrange is he throws hard, man. I can't wait to see him. Because I've been hearing a lot about him. And matter of fact, he's doing a event. Hold on, I'm trying to pull the thing here. You know what? I'm gonna just switch to this.
Pen meatballs. Serving them up.
No, sorry about that, guys. Where is it? I had a thing about him here. All right, is this it? Yeah, so Nathan from NR Media, they're doing a free meet and greet with him at Mama D's Empanadas in New Jersey. So if you're in New Jersey, go check it out, man. You get a free autograph, free picture, and you get to meet a future big leaguer. He's definitely gonna be there one day. Knock on wood. You know, unless he gets hurt or something crazy happens, but he's knocking on the door. So I would leave that up there for a second. Make sure you check that out. That's Mama D's Empanadas in Parlin, New Jersey. Man, my lips are so, my mouth is dry as hell for some reason. I'm talking for 2 hours. All right, let's bring it back. Damn, Phillies are tough, and Tampa Bay always beats our ass, silly. And Toronto doesn't look like they're going to slow down. They're riding that wave until they can't anymore, and Boston is right behind us, too. Yeah, not only that, man, these teams are going to be making trades, too. Best believe they're going to be making trades, so. Best believe. William, you in the tri-state area, William Wallace? If you are, man, go check that out. I don't know how far. I think they said it's like an hour and a half away from the city. So you want me to pull that up? You in Jersey, right? You want me to put that up again? Maybe you could screenshot it or something. All you got to do is buy an empanada, and you get to meet the dude, get an autograph and a picture. All right, yeah, man, check it out, dude. Then you go. I don't know if you know Nathan. He's a friend of the channel. He does a lot of stuff with like retired baseball players, professional athletes in general, and they do a lot of stuff with other players too, man. Like just a whole bunch of players, man. You got to check it out. Yanks took 2 out of 3. Or for Tampa. Damn, he might be the one that gets given up. That's what I was telling Nathan. I was like, man, he might not make that event. Hopefully he doesn't get traded before then. If not, he ain't going to make it. Somebody pull up his stats. William, if you can. I mean, not William, Stephen B. Or one of y'all, if you can. Yeah, I told him that too about Rock Briggio. He's in a lot of rumors too. Every team is going to ask for Spencer Jones from the Yankees trade. I mean, they could ask, but they better be willing to give up a lot for him. Or something worth it, you know? I don't think the Yankees want to get rid of him, though. Because you got to think, if Bellinger opts out, right? If Bellinger opts out and he looks for like a big contract and the Yankees don't want to do it, you know, you could fall right in with Spencer Jones. You know, and then Grisham, who knows? He might not even be here next year. He's on a 1-year deal. He's going to want more money. especially after the way he's been playing. I mean, he hasn't been playing super great, but he's been playing really good, more than $5 million worth. So he's definitely gonna want more money. So they might be like you know what? They might be willing to just hold on to Spencer Jones just in case one of those things fall through and then bring him up. 3.79 ERA. It's not great though. 49 strikeouts and 35 innings pitched. That's really good though. And he's pitching in what's that, Somerset Patriots? Grisham will get paid and he won't be in the Bronx next year. You're right. That's why I say, man, it's almost like just trade him and bring up Spencer Jones now. Why not? Why not? Ben Hess 395. What's up with these ERAs? What is up with the ERAs? Ben Hess got a long way to go, though, man. I mean, he's only been up here. He's only been professional for 1 year, right? Yeah, this is his first year of professional baseball. He's only in high A. You know, hopefully he get promoted before the end of the year. Is Ben Hess? Yeah, he's a 3-year college guy, right? He went to a 4-year school. So, yep, he had to because he's 22 years old. We'll see. We'll see how these guys pan out, if they become anything. Give me a second. Let me check something. All right. Dominguez overrated as hell. Can't even catch a fly ball. Crazy. Man, let's see something real quick. Oh, it's not showing up here. Let me pull this up. My bad, guys. Let me just pull this up real quick. Check this trade out. This is just obviously it's a mock trade. I don't like the way they rate these players here. I feel like Spencer Jones should be valued more than that. But this is nonetheless, this is how they got it valued. They got Spencer Jones valued at 10.2. So this is a mock trade. The Yankees and the Pirates. Brian Hayes, who's negative 12. They got Mitch Keller valued at 34 and Spencer Jones only at 10. They got Cam Schlittler higher than Spencer Jones right now. What do you think about that? It might be different. This was July 17th that somebody made this trade. Would you make that trade right there? I say no. But would you make that trade? Brian Hayes and Mitch Keller for Spencer Jones and Cam Schlittler. Hell no, right? But it's crazy how they have the total value the same. Oh, my bad. This is for another show I was trying to make. I'm going to do another show. It's going to be called State of the Yankees. I was going to do it today, but I didn't finish working on my graphics and stuff. So my bad. I forgot that was there. Roxy, what you doing? Come here. Come on. What is she doing over there? I caught you, didn't I? Yeah, I got you, Roxy. I got you, Roxy. Hawkins says this season is cooked. He says there's no way, there's no one on the market worth Jones. Yeah, man, it would have to be some big time names. Come here. She wants to play. I'm getting off in a few more minutes. Yassine says, I would trade Spencer Jones only for Paul Skeens. It's going to take a lot more than Spencer Jones to get a Paul Skeens. Look at my baby right here. Say hi. Say hello. Hello. Yeah, we'll give up Schlittler before Jones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see this real quick. Lineups are not out. So that's tomorrow's matchup. And then we got on Wednesdays, Max Fried versus Chris Bassett. Let's see if the pictures are updated for Philly. Nope. Okay. For all my Met fans, we'll put up the Mets real quick. What they got going on today? Oh, no, today's the 22nd. Frankie Montas. Kyle Hendricks. For the Dodger fans, let's pull up Dodgers, see who they playing. Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Simon Woods Richardson. And Boston. Richard Fitz versus Christopher Sanchez. Yep. You all right? You want to go down? Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Only trade I would include Jones and 3 other prospects is the Skeens. Yeah, man. I tell you what. You know what frightens me? Even though I think Jones is way better than Peraza or Volpe or any of these guys ever were in AAA, right? But a lot of the talk that I hear right now, man, we've heard this before. Just a few years ago, a lot of people were saying Volpe's untradeable, Peraza's untradeable. Yeah, so it's just sometimes it's tough. It is tough. But I think he's gonna be really good in the big leagues. I think he will be. We'll see. But anyway, I appreciate everybody joining me. I will be on after the game with the night show. Probably maybe 30 minutes 30 minutes after the game ends, I should be on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you haven't liked the video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like and all that good stuff. And that's going to do it for me, man. I got to get something to eat and I got to feed my dog. I think she's hungry. She is hungry. I'll leave it with, I appreciate it, Stephen B. I'm going to leave it with I'll leave you guys with this right here, and then we'll call it a day. I'll see you guys later. Make sure tonight, 30 minutes after the game, I should be on with the night show. Take care, everybody. Boken, take care. Bam Bam, mi primo. Take care, brother. Make the quick, everybody. You know who you are. Appreciate it. Much love. Peace.
Bullpen Meatballs. Serving them up all 2025 season.
You better like the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to my friend Jason's channel.
The reason your butt has been hurting is because you have YDS, Yankees Derangement Syndrome.
Hey y'all, don't forget, channel members can bring up live player stats.